I'm going to show you how to use Xcode to edit the Firefox C++ source code. Most developers, many of them anyway, use Vim or Emacs with a ctags extension for code completion. This is an easier method to get set up and to quickly become productive. What you're going to get from it is full code completion, function call navigation, predictive compilation, basically all the things that you would expect from an IDE environment. Step one would be to apply the patches required for this. I'll link them outside this video. So it's currently in a bug in Bugzilla. The patches required to perform this action. Vote for it. The bug. There's a vote button if you like this. Anyway, so I'll assume you've applied the patches. I'm going to assume you have the source code. Step one is to run mock build. I'm not going to run it right now because that's going to slow us down here. After mock build, you do mock build backend -b Xcode, and I actually am going to run that, and I'll pause the recording because it's going to take a minute. So project generation is now complete. We're going to open the generated project. Just copy the path here. And we see all these source directories on the left in the project navigator. When you first open the project, it's going to take a while to index and process the files. You'll see this here with this progress bar. You can start working immediately. It just isn't going to code complete or navigate everything until that progress bar is complete. It does maintain a cache, so I've recently generated the project. It's going to run through this pretty quickly, but the first time you open it, it is not quick at all. So let's try some editing, and we'll see some code completion. I'll just type ns literal C string it completed with, and we'll let that complete, and there's a string. And actually we see the predictive errors worked on the left hand side. I'll click that. Expected a colon after the expression. We'll see a few more things, just checking that it's, I was going to check some warnings, which I think it does. Yeah, empty character constant. Okay, so did a warning. Let's look up the definition of this function. So we'll go, I'm holding a command down to click on that. There's also keyboard shortcuts, which would be more efficient. So we see this is defined as an ns literal C string type, and let's look at ns literal C string. So we see here the class definition in the header we're in currently, the constructors, and another type definition. So if we were to take a look at, here's one of the constructors. Anyway, this is just showing you how it does in fact work to navigate the project through functions, and there's a lot of preprocessor definitions in the source code, so it's very helpful to be able to look those up quickly. So I've shown you a bit of code completion. We saw the errors and warnings as you type. Some of the navigation features. There's other navigation features in Xcode. Quick open, which I'll show you here. Start typing, and it will show you files, functions. Let's just go browser. There's a lot of things that match this, but this would show you files and functions that match what you're typing. You can go to that quickly. There is, what's this button called? Related files, related bits to what you're working on, which is kind of a mishmash of functions get hidden into here. There's switching to the counterpart, which is the CPP or .h file, which most people would use the keyboard shortcut for. That's Control Command up. Superclasses of the current class, wherever the cursor is currently. Wherever the cursor is currently, it will show the callers of this function and functions that it calls out to. So this is very useful. You can quickly pre-process the file you're working on and take a look at that. So we'll click that, and it should just take a second. And there we go, we have the pre-processed output. For actual compilation of the real object file, you'd want to switch to your command line and run mock. But you can use the per file compilation in Xcode. So I forget what that is, so I'm just going to compile, perform action, compile. There we go. Here, let's just do it this way. Perform action, compile. And this can give you a more complete set of errors and warnings that you might get using predictive compilation. Actually building Firefox binary itself, you'd want to switch back to the command line and run, a mock build, and that will actually build the real product. Same thing when I go to debug, I would switch to the command line and run mock run. When I debug, I tend to use attaching, which I find pretty quick and efficient. There's two processes that run with E10S mode in Firefox. So there's the Chrome process, which is just called Firefox, and the process for the content is plugin-container. So if I was to attach to either one of those, I'll typically just attach by name, and it remembers what I last attached to, Firefox. Fine, attach to that. It's going to wait. Mock run. And when this thing's up and going, I can throw breakpoints in and debug as you would normally. If you are working on both processes, you can additionally attach to the plugin container, and you'd be debugging both of those at the same time. There isn't any particular issue with doing that. So that's all I want to show you, and hopefully you find this useful. Thanks for watching.